All right, here we are. We're nebula-ing. Here we go with month 2, block 2. So these are our colors. We got our 4 colors in the blue colorway, blue/purple, and we got our 4 colors in the peachy pinky, goldy colorway, orangey, I don't know, whatever that colorway is. So we have these. Okay, so we are going to use this ruler for both blocks. So we're going to use the hex and more for both blocks again. And the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to open up all of your fabrics and you're going to cut 2 2-inch by 20-inch strips, whatever, out of each piece of fabric. 2 20-inch by 2-inch from each of your fabrics. We'll be back when we got that done. Okay. All right, so according to your directions, you should have cut 2 strips each of all 8 of your fabrics, and then you would sew 2 sets of the 2 fabrics shown. So I have these 2, and then I have these 2, and you'll notice I'm keeping them in the direction they're shown here so I don't get anything confused. So I have the green, which is the striped, is down. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut half hexes and we're going to cut triangles. We already did this, if you remember, for month 1. We cut half hexagons. So we're going to do that again. We're going to start that process, and then this time what we're going to do is a half hexagon with a triangle in the middle, and a half hexagon and a triangle in the middle. So we need to get 4 of those. That's why we have 2 strips. So we're going to take this guy, and if you guys remember, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Do I want to do it this way? I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut that angle off. Like that. And if you remember, we're doing all our seams open. So all of our seams are pressed open. Okay. So now I have that done. I'm going to come over here, and it's upside down, doesn't matter. I am going to put my 6.5-inch hexagon line on here, and I'm going to cut my 6.5-inch hexagon. So there's one, and then you're going to look at your directions. The next thing you want is your 4 triangles at 3.5. I'm going to get 2 out of this strip, so 3.5. So I'm going to take the other end and I'm going to line it up on the 3.5. And I'm going to chop like so. And there's my triangle. And now I'm going to do my half hexagon again. Like so. And I want to make sure I get that little section cut off of the bottom. So I'm going to flip it over and just get that little guy off. That'll help me with my match points. So there's 2. And now I'm going to get my 3.5-inch triangle again. And I'm going to do that. Okay? So, if you notice, 4 half hexes, 6.5 inches from your 3.5-inch strips, that's these guys, and 4 triangles at 3.5. I got 2 of each. Now I'm going to cut my other strip, and I'm going to get the other 2. And then I'm going to do the same thing to that set. So I'm going to cut the same amount. All right, we will be right back once we have all of those cut. Okay, so we got all of our pieces cut. So these are my 4 half hexes from the 2 strips. These are my 4 half hexes from the other 2 strips. These are my 4 triangles from this strip. These are my 4 triangles from this strip. Now what you're gonna do is this. So we are gonna put these on top of these. How do you do that? So you're gonna center that on there. So make sure that you're centered on there. And you're gonna sew all of these together and then press your seams open so that you get 60-degree triangles. Basically, it's a strip piece 60-degree triangle. Alrighty, we'll be back. All right, now we have 2 different triangles. We have, and they're the reverse. So if you went like this, see, they're 2 different triangles. They're the reverse of one another. So now we're gonna arrange them. You're gonna look at your diagram here, and you're gonna start with 1 on the side here. You're gonna add 1 here. And you're gonna add 1 here. And you're gonna add 1 here. And then another one here. And another one here. And another one here. And your final one here. And as you may imagine, you're gonna sew 2 rows. So you're gonna, this one to this one, this one to this one, this one to this one, then this one to this one, this one to this one, this one to this one. Make very sure you're getting all of your seams pressed open, and then you're gonna join the 2 halves. So we will sew these 2 sides. Let me get the first one started so that you can see how easy this is, you guys. So you've got your notch points already cut off. Look how nice that lines up. I mean, how easy is that? So all we have to do is sew that. Press your seams open. I'm gonna keep saying this till you guys are like, shut up. It is very important to press your seams open. You will have just a mess at your intersections if you don't. And I know you're not necessarily supposed to, but I'm using a little best press on our wool mat because I want these seams to lay flat. Okay, so I got a nice flat seam. This way. And now I'm gonna put the next one on. And again, we have those notch points, so you match that right up. And those nice pressed open seams, you can see where your seam allowance comes right together, so you're gonna match, and you're gonna match. See how nice that is? When your seams are pressed open, you can see exactly where you're gonna be. Okay, look at there. See how those come together? Boom, boom, boom. And the only way that happens is if you got those seams pressed open so you can see where you're going. So we'll get this seam pressed open here. Maybe. There we go. Got a lot of seams going on in this one. There we go. Okay, and you can see how nice those seams line up. That's only because those seams were put together with them open. Okay, and now we're gonna go this one here. All right, so you get the idea. We'll be back when we have both sides pieced so we can show you how to put the two halves together.
Go.
Alrighty, here we go. We got this part and we got this part, and I'm gonna put this to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually gonna use some pins this time around.
Coward.
Oh, I know. There's just a lot of moving parts here, so I'm gonna pin my seams. And you can see right where they are because you got your seam intersections going on right there. So this will prevent anything from shifting and keep all of those seams lining up when you open this back up. And I trimmed a little bit, and I'm gonna lose a point on one of my triangles, I think. Yep, this one right here. But life is rough all over. I'll live. I'll do better on the next one. Okay. And it's just gonna make my life a little bit easier doing this. I don't do a lot of pinning, but on a long piece like this, when you want all these intersections to line up, it's going to make your life a little bit easier.
Well, it's also bias.
Yes, you have bias edges. So it's just going to make your life a little bit easier if you pin those seam intersections so everything stays in place. All right, so all I'm going to do now is stitch that up, press that seam open, and voila, I've got that block done. And then we're going to do the same thing with the peachy, orangey, goldy, whatever you call that color one. So we'll have two for this month. Two for this month. The exact same thing. Pretty blocks, pretty blocks. We'll see you for month 3. Bye.